Hi, this is Jody Shirami at AstroPod_cast. This is the weekly astrology report for the very last 2 days of May 30th until June 6th, 2025. We are deep into the Gemini season. June is when everything starts to really commence in terms of things happening in the universe. And today is Friday, May 30th, and the Cancer moon is active here right now. As the Cancer moon leaves, the moon will shift into Leo later today.
So today is May 30th, and we have the Cancer moon this morning, and it's sextiling Uranus, which means we are looking for technological things for our cooking, for our home, because Cancer rules over our homes, our hearths. And so that's what's happening in the morning, and then it's going to shift into Leo, and then it's going to trine Saturn in Aries. So here we have the Leo moon meeting up with Saturn and Aries, both fire signs that they're inhabiting right now. So what does this mean? It's a challenge for your moon, your Leo moon, which is all-encompassing because it's the sun, and your ego running against Saturn. So, and then the moon in Leo is going to go opposite of Pluto in Aquarius. And so we have a double configuration here with the Leo moon in terms of it's meeting up with Saturn. So Saturn's saying to Leo moon, if you want to accomplish something, you have to work hard. And then when you're meeting up with Pluto in Aquarius, it's also ready to get rid of your bad habits so you can go forward with this momentum of this Leo moon. So really Saturn is about hard work. And so with Leo moon, it's a self-hard work thing that you're doing for yourself for confidence. And discipline is what Saturn brings in Aries, especially Aries where it's like a pioneering, ready to go, ready to take chances. And then on Saturday, June 31st, is going to be a fire and air movement day in terms of it's a great day where we are now activating the fire in Aries, the fire in Leo, and then the air sign in Aquarius and the air sign of Gemini. So right now we have a bunch of planets, the Liliums, all in these signs. So it's a quick moving time. You didn't notice that May really went by quickly. I mean, it was like this, and now we're really at June 1st, time for hurricane season. So Saturday is a great day with this energy, really motivating us to get started to do things. And so it's a great day according to Cam White to compliment each other. Say, hey, it's been nice. You guys are being nice. I love today. So that's what Saturday is for. It's really a good day to really enjoy yourself with all this air and fire. Because, you know, fire needs air. And air needs fire. And you can see there's a lot of fires already burning. Up in Canada, there's a huge fire burning. And the smoke is going to be coming into America and polluting the air up there, just like it did last year. So, I do believe the fire season is going to get worse and worse, though. So, here we go. Today, also, so we head to Sunday, and Sunday is the first day of June, and it's the first day of the hurricane season, especially down here in Florida. It's all we've been talking about this past week. Venus will be conjuncting Chiron in Aries. And then it's going to trine the Leo moon and sextile Jupiter. So Sunday is a Leo moon. Again, our sovereignty standing in our who we are. And with Jupiter meeting up in Gemini, we're going to have a lot of this. Jupiter enhances what Mars and Leo is feeling. And Mars and Leo is feeling very sensual. um, and seeking security. And so this is that time when our individuality, we're really seeking to become connected to someone else because of the Gemini sun. And Gemini is about the twins, right? So we're really starting to look at love and the values and how we love ourselves and how do we deal with pain, because Chiron again is the healer, and Jupiter is enhancing more of that for Chiron to help us heal. So we're really trying to heal and forgive and forget and move on. And this is the time to do it right now, as Chiron's in Aries, the sign of willpower, the sign of exalted Leo, exalted sun. And then the moon and Mars are also going to meet, because the moon is in Leo and is going to come along and meet Mars. And what does this mean? The moon in Leo meeting Mars in Leo. I have two sons with the moon in Leo. Meeting of Mars in Leo is going to be an excitement of something that you love and want. And it's really going to push you with your confidence to not be afraid, to let go with Chiron here, just being here the other day, meeting up with Venus. You really want to love yourself and go forward and believe in yourself. And this is the time to believe in yourself. It's the time to really become who you want to be. And Sunday really reminds me of Shakespeare, where all the world's a stage. And whenever you step out of your door, your house, anything can happen, right? Anything can happen when you go outside. You just don't know. So when you go outside as a Leo, with Mars here, your actions are going to be maybe egotistical for some people, where they're larger than life and they're bullying people. What they want is authoritarian. They want to be the boss, the king, because Leo's the king and queen, royalty. So right here, you might be feeling yourself a little bit too much. So really think about that. And the week continues on with many things happening, so many angles, so many things that it's really hard to talk about it all without getting confused. So lately I've been writing things on my Instagram page. Last week I wrote 4 posts to explain every single day, because the time is moving along so quickly, especially with Jupiter at the very last degrees of Gemini, pushing all this energy, this air energy out, this quick, 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 quick. Because Mercury's quick. And so with all this happening, it can be confusing to listen to this and say, well, what am I supposed to do? How do I feel? And that is really what's going on. You either have clarity or confusion. The same coin, but opposite of each other. So Kiko Power Wish, she is an astrologer from Japan. She says that Saturn and Pisces in Aries are perfect partners in realizing and working together as a team. Because Saturn will bring structure to Neptune's watery dreams. All these things that are happening with Neptune uh, is is blurry, is a dream. Neptune is the dreamland. It's where you can't quite see something and it's fuzzy, but you know you want that and you're trying to dream it up. And so when you do start to dream and wish for things, especially after this new moon in Gemini, it can be confusing. What do I do first? Gemini is always about choices. What do I choose? What do I do? I want to do this. I want to do that, because I know what that feels like. Gemini is my midhaven. And so I have a Gemini son who is his birthday's coming up. He is a Gemini, and he's my youngest, and he's quite quick, quite fast, very intelligent, ready to pop jokes whenever he thinks I might not be in the mood to hear him talk. Just help me a joke and make me laugh. So that is Gemini's power, is in communicating and getting things out so that we can continue to talk to each other. And so during this time, it's very important to get out there, write things down, talk to your community, your neighbors, like I've been doing. I've met some new people. They gave me some bamboo up in a town north of us where I almost moved. And I went up there to visit that yard and we dug out some bamboo. And she showed up, and it turns out she is a psychic medium that can see and speak to the dead. And as she was saying that, I was talking about all the Buddhas in her yard. And then she comes out and like basically surprised us because she wasn't supposed to be home. We were getting the bamboo. And so when she started talking about this ghost that she had that came along with this Buddha that she got from a friend who had died of AIDS about 28 years ago now, I started getting chills up my spine. And as she continued to talk, it went up my spine and up into my head, and I could feel this tingling. And I realized that the ghost was probably there, or the ghost that's in that yard is there, but something's there. And so I felt all of a sudden that I was supposed to meet this woman because I almost bought the house, as it turns out, behind hers, where there used to be a pond. I would be directly across from her in the pond. And that really freaked me out, and I realized that the universe is really sending us messages of past lives, of past things, and they're really happening right now. So that's why I went up there, because I really wanted some bamboo, because it is something I grew up with and it makes me feel good. And it also is a great barrier for offense. So that's something that happened, and it came from my friend over here, who's the 84-year-old woman who has the sun in Cancer that could be one of my best friends. She introduced me to this woman she's known for 40 years. She's the one that said this woman will give you some bamboo if you want. Just go up there and she'll help you out. And it just really blew my mind. As you can see, it still blows my mind. So now I feel that what I'm doing is correct for astrology, being an astrology mama. It's not that I can read charts great. It's not that I can understand everything the planets do. It's not that I can see things happening in terms of the planets or my book of cards, destiny cards. It's that I have feelings and intuition of something happening by being out and about with people and soaking up their energy as an empath. But then when I come home and I think about what happened, I realize that I can kind of see or sense something that's going to happen in the future, but I haven't honed in on that part of my life as much. So I've been honing in on that to where I can start receiving more messages. And this is during the time of that for us to happen with Gemini season. So basically, this upcoming week, as June appears, it's going to get more volatile. Things are going to move much more quickly than they did in May, if you can imagine that. Mercury is getting ready to shift out of Gemini. On the 6th of May is when Venus will be moving into Taurus. And when Venus goes to her home, she's going to be very happy, and she's going to bring a lot of stability to us because she's at home. And it's going to give us a chance to really enjoy Venus for what she is, which is Venus and Taurus loves the finer things, because Taurus, again, is about values, and it's an earth sign. So it's things that we can tangibly touch and what we want. So for me, with Taurus and Venus, I love jewelry, I love clothes, I love fashion. So this is really going to hit the heights of all that, especially with all the summertime coming up and all the festivals and all the music concerts going on. There's going to be a lot of awesome costumes coming out, and there's a lot of people touring now because it's getting ready to get into Venus is getting ready to go to Taurus to show a lot of bling. Venus going into Taurus will be ruling over our throats and singing. And then Mercury in Gemini is going to help us sing, talk, be artistic, and be creative. So this is the time, if you're still afraid of doing things and moving forward in your life, don't be afraid anymore. This is the time to move forward. Believe in yourself. And I've also recently started following Stefan Burns. He's a geophysicist. And if you remember last week, we were talking about a lot of solar flares happening. So now that Mercury's Cassini, when Mercury goes Cassini or retrograde, and Mercury is the only planet that can go to the underworld and then come back out again. Mercury's the one that would take you down the underworld and then it will come back up again. So Mercury is a very powerful little tiny planet because it's next to the sun, and what it does is really kind of protect us. You will be amazed at how Mercury really affects the solar flares. So as you know, if you don't know, there's a town in Switzerland called Blatten, and it was evacuated a couple of weeks ago. All the cows, everything's evacuated. It's at the very, almost near the top of the Swiss Alps, and part of the Swiss Alps, because of the glacier, started melting. Part of the mountain came down onto Blatten in Switzerland and demolished part of the town, and now it's going to happen again as the other side is starting to melt, and that side will now come down and maybe finish off the whole town because part of the town still exists. And also the other day when Mercury Cassini began, Stefan Burns came on and showed us a volcano that erupted in Hawaii up in the sky, shooting straight lava up. So all this heating up of the earth has happened before, but now it's just accelerated because of global warming that we produce carbon dioxide. So these things are really occurring. It's not just a fantasy. Yes, the earth was going to go through a change, but it's going through the change quicker. And it's affecting us more severely because we're still creating a lot of carbon dioxide, and we're still creating pollution, and the oceans are polluted. The coral reefs aren't there to protect the fish as much. So there's a lot going on. Like the other day, there was a soft shell turtle that came through our yard, and it was discombobulated. It come out of the stream in back of our house. And it was discombobulated, and I noticed it when I was getting ready to go gardening, and I saw that it was just running around the yard. It didn't really know what it was doing, but I could see it wanting to get back to the water because it's starting to get really hot. Even though it's humid, turtles really live in the water most of the time. So I had my son come out and pick them up, and at first the turtle was very wanting, willing to be picked up, but then he got scared. And then he had to pick it up again, and finally got into the stream. When he put it into the stream, it just totally went under and never looked back. I'd never seen a turtle move so fast, and turtles can move fast. At first I thought it was a snapping turtle, but it's a soft shell turtle that's native to Florida. My son Jake told me. Very interesting, always to look at nature and see how the animals are reacting. The animals will always kind of give you a feeling of what's going on, and I realized after that maybe I'm a little moving too quickly. So yesterday I took it easy. Today I'm taking it easy. I'm not going outside. It's too hot for the camera. It's too hot for me. And that's what's happening, is that the heat can cause disorientation. And with all these planets moving so quickly and having all these meetings, it can get confusing. This Gemini season already is confusing. It is a quick moving energy, and with Mercury in its sign, with the sun meeting up, it's really a big, big deal. And the storms are starting to happen. Severe, severe storms are already happening. Fires are burning. There's hail. There's flooding already. And we're not even in hurricane season until Sunday. There's already a tropical storm on the west side of Mexico that's already been named. So all I can say is prepare yourself. Make sure you take your time because again, with Saturn and Aries, you only have so many steps that you can take because Saturn again is debilitated in Aries. It's slow moving compared to Mercury. So here we have a situation, just like today, where we're meeting up with Saturn, where we have to really think before we act, because if we don't, it could really bite us in the you know what later on down the road. So really my advice for this week again is to stay calm, think before you act, think before you speak, think before you write, because Gemini rules over the written word, the spoken word, basically any type of communication is Gemini's forte. And Gemini people are very great. It's a fun time. We're going to head into Cancer season here halfway through. And on the 9th, Jupiter will be moving into Cancer along with, I believe, Mercury. So then we're going to have a time when we're focused on our homeland. And then as July comes in, it's going to be July 4th, and that's when a lot of chaos is supposed to happen because the chart is very chaotic when you see the chart for July 4th of this year. And it's especially important for America. This is the 250th anniversary of it becoming a country. And this is when most civilizations start to fall or falter or change. So I do believe our country has to go through a change. Whatever that will be, we'll find out. But we all have to be a part of it, all of us. So again, thank you for being here. I'm not an astrologer. I am an astrologist. I take all the information and it supports what I'm feeling and thinking when I'm out in the world and talking to people and seeing what's happening. It supports what I believe is happening. And I've been having this feeling for about, I think it's been 10, 15 years now. I've been talking about it with my family for a while, and I've been preparing them for this for a while. And it's not that so much being a psychic, it's more being intuitive and paying attention to what's going on and listening to your gut instinct and really watching yourself, mostly how you're feeling. And then when you think about how you're feeling, you must know other people feel that way. So that's why this is the time to really be yourself with this Aries energy, with Saturn and Neptune in Aries. This is the time to find yourself, show yourself, get out, have a speech, do something, but make it so that you feel like you are in your own body and your own stuff and able to do what you need to do. Okay? Thank you for being here, and I will talk to you next week. This is Jody Boots at Astropod_cast. Thank you to all my spiritual children. I appreciate you. I'm so happy my friend's home after her operation. I'm so, so happy. And I hope to see everyone, especially. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you guys. And I'll be back next week. Okay? Mwah.